Hey there. So, if you've ever felt just stuck in the whole diet culture cycle, then this is for you. We're going to explore a path to wellness that isn't about more rules, but about a completely new foundation. Let's dive in. I mean, does this hit home for you? So many of us feel this deep exhaustion, right? This constant pressure to fix ourselves, to treat our bodies like there's some kind of problem to be solved instead of a gift to be cherished. So, what's the way out of all that pressure? Well, it's not another set of rules. It's an invitation, a call to just pause, to actually listen to our bodies, and to shift our whole mindset from fixing to caring. It's all about embracing the idea that you were designed with intention, not as some flawed project. And this really brings us to the absolute core shift of this whole philosophy. It's a move from the world we all know as dieting into a completely new space called stewardship. And you can see the difference laid out so clearly here. On one side, you've got dieting. It's all about control, rules, fixing, and that constant pressure. But then you look at stewardship. Totally different language, right? Listening, caring, honoring, grace. It's just a completely different world. And that really is the big question, isn't it? What happens when we stop trying to wrestle our bodies into submission and instead we just embrace gentle, consistent care? It changes the whole dynamic. It's no longer a battle you have to win, but a relationship you get to nurture. And this is where the spiritual foundation for that shift comes in. This verse completely reframes our body, not as our personal project to perfect, but as a temple. The whole idea is that we care for ourselves, not to impress others, but to honor the God who lives within us. That change in why you're doing it, that's the game changer. Okay, so that's the big idea. But how does this actually work day to day? Well, it's built on a framework of 6 pillars. And I love how this is framed. These are not rules to break. They are anchors, things that hold you steady and help you get back to what truly nourishes you. So here they are, the 6 anchors. You've got spiritual nourishment, which is all about connecting with God first. Then there's primary food. We're going to get into that one. It's a biggie. Bio-individuality, which just honors that your body is totally unique. Then you have biblical nutrition, focusing on real God-made foods. Temple stewardship, that's about caring for your body with movement and rest. And finally, mindful intentionality, just slowing down and being present. See how they all work together? It's a whole person approach. Let's zoom in on that first pillar for a second, spiritual nourishment. The whole concept is that our deepest, most nagging hunger, it isn't physical. I mean, you can eat the perfect diet, but if your soul is running on empty, you're still going to feel off. It's about looking to God before you look in the fridge. Now let's jump to pillar 5, temple stewardship, to see how this plays out in a really practical way. This just redefines our everyday habits. Suddenly, movement isn't a punishment for what you ate. It's an act of worship. Drinking water isn't a chore. It's life-giving. And getting enough rest, that becomes an act of obedience, of trusting God's design. All right, let's talk about one of the most powerful ideas in this whole framework. It's this concept that what really, truly nourishes us often has nothing to do with what's on our plate, and it's called primary food. So, what on earth is primary food? Well, it's all the stuff in your life that feeds you that isn't food. We're talking about the quality of your relationships, feeling like you have a purpose, your joy, your spiritual connection, all those things that fill you up from the inside out. And here you can see the 4 big areas of primary food: our relationships, our physical activity, our career or sense of purpose, and our spiritual life. And here's the key takeaway. When these areas are out of whack, when we're feeling empty there, we often try to fill that void with secondary food. You know, the stuff we actually eat. This verse just nails that idea of primary food, doesn't it? Guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. It's suggesting that our choices, our energy, even what we crave, it all starts in the heart. So when our primary food is in a good place, our choices about physical food just get so much easier, more natural. So when you put this all together, what's the end goal? Is it about getting a perfect body? Not at all. It's about building the kind of health you need to live out the purpose you were created for. I love this redefinition of health. It's not about a number on the scale or the size of your genes. True health is having the physical, emotional, and spiritual capacity to live out your calling. It's about having the energy to serve others, the mental clarity to make good decisions, and the peace to actually rest. It's health that fuels your mission.
And this is the verse that it's all built on, the ultimate promise. The goal is to move beyond just surviving, running on fumes and stress, and to step into a life that's truly abundant, whole, and full of purpose.
So I want to leave you with this one question to think about. What would actually change for you if your health became an act of worship instead of a constant test of your willpower? Just imagine that for a second. It could change everything. Thanks for exploring this with me.